Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast we bring you each and every week. It is Monday. It's the Monday mashup, beginning of another international break. But I'm not too upset it's an international break, I have to say, once again. But yeah, Marky, how we doing?
I'm all good, cuz. How are you keeping, alright?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Here for the therapy. Here for the therapy.
Yeah, it's good to
That's
talk.
for
It's good
that's
to
for
talk.
sure. It was a tough weekend of football, but we'll get into it. We'll talk about Bray. We'll talk about the Premier League. Going to talk about Pep. 1,000 games strong.
Yeah,
1,000
jeez, yeah.
games, phenomenal. We're going to talk about Rovers doing the double. We're going to take a quick look at how the European places fed out in the Premier Division, League of Ireland. What else have we got in here? What else we got? We're going to look at the Ireland squad. Two big games coming up. And of course, we will look at Bray and we'll look at the latest update in relation to Dundalk. So plenty to go through. So we'll begin with you. Let us know our sponsor for the Monday mashup, Hogan Elite Trophy here.
Yeah, again, lads, if you are on any of the socials, go on to Hogan Elite Trophy here on Instagram, Facebook, give us a like and a follow. Yeah, we have one or two availabilities in December, and then we're taking bookings for next year and stuff like for communions and stuff like that, and of course, our our deal with the Legends 11. Plenty of matches coming up next year, so plenty to look forward to. And of course, we'll get you close to a few of the matches again next year and stuff like that as well.
100%, yeah, absolutely. So, folks, if you could support Marky over there in the socials, Hogan Elite Trophy, who are fabulous trophies, great experience when you're at these events and stuff like that and all. And if you could as well, make sure, folks, we are live on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. So if you could drop a like, all that usual stuff, reshare it out and stuff like that and all, and
Definitely.
subscribe to the channel. And if you are enjoying it on Facebook, pop over to YouTube, first of all, give us a like and all that good stuff there. And then you can pop back over to Facebook if you want. Morris is in the chat. He says, don't worry, what do you say? Don't worry about the therapy. It's early yet. Early yet, of course. And Phil's in. Big Phil, what's happening, Phil? Hope you're good, my friend. And then Morris, he's heading to Hungary on Saturday.
Nice.
Wow. Fair play. There's dedication.
He wouldn't have done that with a certain Stephen Kenny in charge, I tell you that.
Maybe not.
He definitely wouldn't have done that now, in fairness.
This sounds to me like this is not just a footballing trip. There's something more to this. Fill us in, Morris. What are you up to in Hungary? Are you canvassing for a European spot in the Parliament or something?
It's either that or he's DJing in some club over there, or there's some Hungarian wrestling on as well that day.
Do you know what's supposed to be amazing over there? The Hungarian goulash. When I was working for a company in a previous thing, we used to buy in fittings from Hungary from a company over there, and when they'd bring the guys over to have a look and do the quality control and all that, they used to bring them out, and on the menu was always this Hungarian goulash. And apparently it's supposed to be like a stew but different level altogether.
Yeah, we went over there, geez, must be about 10 years ago at this stage, over to Budapest, or as I say, Budapest, for the weekend. It was class over there. Lovely city. Myself, Yvonne, and some of her friends and my mates and all. So no, it was good crack, but the goulash was lovely. You have to get over there. You have to try it. And I'm not one for trying. I'm a real plain Jane, that sort of way. So, but no, it really is good. Oh yeah, Phil, I got absolutely drenched. I did go collect a jacket from Stephen's Green the other day. I don't know if Ron's in the chat, if he's there or not, but I got absolutely soaked. I was wearing a light blue suit that became a dark blue suit, and
not the kind of absolute you want to be soaked in, no?
Exactly. No, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm feeling it today. That's what I was saying to Niall there. I brought George up to bed there, and I nearly fell it. Well, I did had a little half an hour nap myself. Nearly missed the show there. So how are you, Bren? What's the story, pal?
Bren's
I hope you had a good time around.
Yeah, you had a great time by the looks of things.
Apart from the neighbours keeping them up at night.
Big up Baz. Baz is in.
How are you, Baz? Was Baz in with you last week?
He was in with me today as well. He won a competition, Morris. There we go. Nice. Won a competition. So he's going over. Christmas market starts Saturday. Mrs. is happy. There you go.
Nice one.
Enjoy. Take plenty of pictures. That's very cool.
It
Those
was a
Christmas
raffle
markets.
run by DJ Carey down there in Kilkenny. That's what he won.
That's what it was, yeah. It was. The tickets were stuffed into a chicken fillet roll, and whoever got the chicken fillet roll, and Morris had to mark the course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nice
Oh,
one. Well, fair play winning anyway. That's cool.
yeah,
Right,
no, congratulations, Morris. Fair play.
right. I thought I'd start off with the worst of it. Let's get into this Premier League. Yeah.
Hey.
Where to begin? Lunchtime on Saturday.
I thought you
Tot-
were out straight into Sunday. Half.
Tottenham 2, Manchester United 2.
You know, can I just say one of the funniest things was anytime you see Richarlison take his jersey off, you know Spurs are gonna draw, don't you? thinks he's got
Absolutely.
the thinks he's got the win. No, it's a decent game. I thought we played well. Lemons again was in good form, pulled off some really good saves. We got 1-0 up, and instead of you know improving in the second half, we concede two like two avoidable goals anyway. But it was disappointing. But listen, I think in the end to get the point as we did so late on was a relief. And I think we were worthy, definitely worthy of the point, if not the 3 points. So it was a bit disappointing in that way, and particularly, you see Spurs. I mentioned last week, Spurs haven't won at home since the opening game of the season. Obviously, they drew at Wolves, but Wolves at home as well. There about a month and a half ago, or whatever it might be. But yeah, I was disappointed. I thought De Ligt, the way he's been playing. He really deserved the goal. He's been excellent at the back. He's so solid. But yeah, there's just this thing with Ugarte. He was too slow, obviously, for Charleston's goal, getting up to play the offside and stuff. And obviously with Casemiro, we know Cas isn't going to be playing the full 90 minutes, and Ugarte's going to come on, and you just feel there's a drop in the level when that happens, when that change is made. So, but oh yes, God. Yeah, the runner-up got an iPhone charger, wasn't it? And a plaster.
Runner up got chicken fella roll and a carton of milk.
But yeah, listen, like I said, relieved just to get the point, but I felt on the overall outcome, I would have taken a point beforehand. But when you seen the performance in the first half and stuff like that, I think I was a bit disappointed we didn't get a win in the end.
Good to show the metal though, to come back and get the draw. On another day now, you would have dropped that draw there. You would have lost 2-1. So shout that anyway.
Yeah.
Everton 2, Fulham 0.
Yeah, again, a really good performance by Everton. Very unlucky. I think they 2 or 3 offside goals chalked off. Created countless opportunities, and I think a bit like De Ligt, Michael Keane's goal was well deserved. He's been excellent for them this season. At the back, and from set pieces, he's very dangerous as well. Pickford pulled off some really, really good saves. Really, really good saves. Solid. Fulham looked a bit disjointed. I think you look at them, that they've done well at home this season and stuff, but possibly they should have invested a little bit more in the summer. I don't think there was an investment into the squad. Never mind the starting 11, but the squad, and it's kind of starting to show a little bit now. But yeah, excellent win for Everton.
Yeah, Morris is letting us know the chicken fillet roll rose slightly to 3.95. Were they out on the streets, Morris? Were they out on the streets rioting over it?
5. Jesus Christ, lads.
The institution of the chicken fillet roll has been hit by a price hike. There we go.
So I'm just reading Morris's previous. Was that his previous comment? He scanned a QR code on a Carlsberg stand in the shop?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That is class, man. Happy days.
Yeah, that's a nice one, isn't it? That's a nice win. And no better man to win it either with the average that man puts in. Fair play and enjoy every minute of it.
Enjoy every minute. Don't forget to pack your Ireland jersey and not your wrestling referee jersey now, Morris.
I did visions of Morris out in the stock room scanning every QR code before he went out.
I tell you, I'll be doing that tomorrow now myself. I'll tell you that.
You'll say Marky down the local off license or whatever it is in Jervis, and he'd be scanning everything.
I was scanning a QR code on the top floor of Stephen's Green last Thursday, but there was no one around for me to collect my prize.
It's still a very good price, Morris.
3.95. That's unbelievable.
Anything under €4 is a win. €6 across the road from where I work. Yeah, but Brad, you're working on the posh side of town.
He's on the
You're not
south
gonna,
side.
yeah. He not only on the south side, but he's in the hub.
Really?
Brand's around our kind of Balls Bridge, Merrion Square, Bagot Street,
Oh, well then, yeah,
Banking areas of that. You know what I mean? They're getting a
Anything
chip
from
roll
Baggett
there.
Street right down there, forget about it.
Scam them, lads. Scam them. There you go. There you
100%.
go. West Ham 3, Burnley 2. Huge win for West Ham. Look like Nuno starting to steady the ship now.
Yeah, and I'm delighted for him. I think Somerville had a fantastic game. We haven't really seen his quality since he's come in. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So I was glad to see him. He obviously got the goal, check as well at the back post. But yeah, they started off shaky. Obviously, conceding first. I thought Burnley done very well. Yeah, and then obviously, like I said before, like sometimes when the West Ham team go 1-0 down like that, their heads would have dropped and under certain managers, and it could have been any kind of score, but they got back into it. They look very dangerous, creating opportunities and stuff like that. And I think obviously they'd be disappointed conceding the Burnley second goal in the 90 odd minute, whatever it was. It wasn't another. West Ham keeper was Ariola was looking for a free kick, but it was never a free kick. And yeah, that was probably the only kind of tarnish of the afternoon for them. But yeah, it was a great win in the end, and I think it's their first back-to-back Premier League wins in over a year and a half or something now. So it's positive signs for them, you know.
That's mad, isn't it, when you think about it?
Mm.
What's I used to say? Might as well be scanning the Guinness QR codes for the Premier League title now. 100%.
Oh, class.
Then we had the 2 evening games. I have to say, I do really like the Saturday where you have like the 12:30, the 3:00, 5:30s, and 8:00. You get the full day, and it's a pity they don't do it on the Sunday as well. Because the Sunday you get a cluster of 2:00, and then you get the 4:30. It's a shame.
It'd be great if they spread it out, wouldn't it? But
I suppose the difficulty is you'd have to pick the 8:00 one on a Sunday. People in work on the Monday and trying to get home. Like so, imagine your Sunderland versus Brighton or something crazy like that, you know, or Newcastle or whatever it is.
I remember back in the day. I don't know what you remember, cause, but like I remember going out on a Saturday night, and then on a Sunday we'd go to Uncle Tom's for the day, and we'd always end up staying for the La Liga game, whatever was live on Sky Sports on the Sunday night. And it'd be around an 8:00, 9:00 kickoff, whatever it was, you know. But yeah, it was a lot of games, like you said, a big cluster of games there at 2:00.
Well, it does help. You could tumble out of Uncle Tom's cabin and land at your gaff.
Yeah, true.
Did help, you know. You're not traveling from Bilbao to like Malaga or something, you know what I mean? So yeah, I get it. I get it, you know.
I did make my way to Uncle Tom's yesterday, believe it or not.
Nice.
We were over that way yesterday. Remember, I sent you a picture.
Did they let you in, or was your membership up at this stage?
My membership was up. I had to show me ID to get in again. Actually, they've done the lounge up and stuff, and they have a pool table and a dartboard. So we gave me dad a few games of pool yesterday. I did win 4-1 against them, so I was happy with that. But we went
just play darts.
We didn't get a chance to play darts because where the dartboard is, it's beside obviously the pool table. And Georgia and Holly were there, and there had been a party on the night before, and apparently it was until 3:00. But all the balloons for the parties was where the dartboard where the dartboard was, and they were playing with them. So we brought home a few balloons and stuff, and obviously I was over there because I was checking out some of my old jerseys, and I found my jersey from the Italian 90, the Alilash jersey, and I found a few the Ultimate Warrior t-shirts and the X t-shirts and stuff like that. Remember I sent you the picture? Oh man.
Do you know the buzz when I say them? It's when you send me the neck tag with the old WWF logo on it.
I can't believe
that's what sells it for me. That's so cool.
I can't believe it. Obviously the DX one wasn't official, but the Warrior one was. I found 2 Mighty Ducks jerseys. I found a Boston Red Sox baseball jersey as well. That I got in Boston in 2000, so 25 years ago. And
when you were a Liverpool fan predicting FSG's takeover, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I was thinking ahead, thinking of you and Dino, you know. But yeah, so we'd a good day yesterday over there, so that kind of brought back a
I
lot.
should get that Boston Red Sox off you and frame it and put it in the background for the podcast, really, you
Yeah,
know?
Jesus, yeah, too
That'd
right.
work, wouldn't it? That'd work.
Nicole Hogan was eyeing it up because you know with the young ones nowadays, the
Ah,
fashion
yeah.
it always goes full circle, like you know that type of way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I'll definitely see suss her out anyway, you know.
Absolutely. Right, the evening shift. First of all, Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. Ballard with opening the goal, cracking goal. Ex-Arsenal boy. And then Saka and Trossard thought they had it won. And then Brian Brobby pops up 90 plus 4. What a
Unbelievable,
scoop. What a scoop finish.
what
Um,
and
yeah.
and and a well deserved point. I think I was saying it to I was talking to Hemi in work the other day, and this was before obviously the kickoff, and that was late in the evening. I'd love to go to the stadium, and like the atmosphere just looks unreal, especially under the lights there on Saturday. They took, as you said, they took the lead. Trossard, by the way, what a goal that was. I thought I might be a bit harsh, but I think for Saka's goal, I think the keeper should be covering himself a little bit better at the near post. I think he might have. I don't know the way he dived; it just looked a bit off. But
Mm.
for them to get back into it, and even after they equalised, Arsenal had a chance, and I think I can't remember who blocked it. Was it a man who scored the first goal?
Ballard, yeah, it was
Yeah,
Ballard who
yeah,
blocked it as well.
Ballard,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And that got a bigger roar than the goals did. It was
yeah.
fantastic to hear and see. And do you know what? You look at it, I think possibly, I don't want to speak too soon, but they certainly look like one of the better teams that have come up since probably Brentford, you know, and before that was Leicester of the promoted teams, you know, they look really comfortable, you know, to beat Chelsea there a few weeks ago in Stamford Bridge. You know, they've just been tipping along, picking up points, and they're what are they in fourth now or something like that. They had were in second
Mm,
after that result, but obviously with different results on Sunday,
yeah.
they dropped down a bit. But it's fantastic stuff considering we seen how low the club was at before, particularly with the documentary and stuff. And it must be a dream come true for them Sunderland fans at the minute.
Yeah, and long may it continue. Long may it continue. Absolutely
Absolutely.
fabulous. Yeah, Toy getting manhandled. I don't know if I've seen that Toy from AFTV
Just seeing a
getting
clip of it,
dragged
yeah.
out by the scruff. I don't know what the story is with that guy. That guy goes picking rows at every game, like, and like
I,
he's only a little tiddler, like.
I know, but
I
it's
mean,
that Craig Bellamy, the little man syndrome, isn't it? Like,
I don't know what it is. It's insane, like this. Like he just doesn't look great either. It's not a good look either, you know. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. No question of a foul for the equaliser or anything like that.
oh no, I don't think
They
so.
were claiming a
No,
high foot, but I mean at that stage
no.
Gabriel was nearly licking the grass at that stage, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think
Yeah.
he out strength Gabrielle and
Mm.
yeah, no, absolutely not a foul for me, 100%.
And here I was Saturday evening thinking, there you go. The door is ajar. The door is ajar, but we'll come to that, don't worry. Chelsea 3, Wolves 0. I think Wolves are in trouble, aren't they? Our boy Ryan won't be too happy.
No, big time, and it was a fantastic performance by Chelsea. It kills me to say, but for me, Garnacho was man of the match there on Saturday evening. I thought he played excellent on the left hand side, involvement in the goals and stuff like that. I think anytime Chelsea went forward, they looked electrical. They just looked like they were going to do something, and it was a fantastic win. And I think from a Wolves point of view, I think they can be glad it was only 3-0 in the end. You know,
Mm.
um, but yeah, really solid win. Wolves are in major trouble. I think we spoke about this at plenty of time here, and it just seems to be getting worse as the weeks go on.
Yeah, Robbie Keane is linked with the job, but it looks like Rob Edwards is taking it, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why, because like he's doing a fantastic job with Middlesbrough at the minute. Obviously they're up there. Um, I know it's early doors, but like you know that Middlesbrough team look good. He hasn't played some good football. He's been stood down from his duties because of obviously talk with Wolves.
Mm.
I say Gary O'Neill just felt it wasn't the right time to go back and stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Like. For Rob Edwards, like you're going from a team like Middlesbrough that have an opportunity to get to the promised land of the Premier League, and now you're jumping ship to get to a team that's almost definitely getting relegated. Just seems a bit of a bizarre move for me.
Yeah, and like a lot of talent there with Rob Edwards and stuff like that and all, you know, but you know, the way Luton kind of ran out in the end and stuff like that. Who would you be going for? Rob Edwards? Would you be going for Robbie Keane? Who would you be going for?
I think Robbie is doing well enough at the minute, obviously where he is. I think they got another good win there on Thursday night in Europe again. I think obviously he won a trophy there last season and stuff like that. For me,
The draw of the Premier League though.
I know, yeah, no, 100%. But I just feel if I was Robbie, I'd be looking at Keith Andrews going, right, he's with Brentford, who we kind of know will be there. If you're going to Wolves, listen, come May, they're going back to the Championship, and it's the work, and there's no guarantee they're going to come straight back up. It's so hard for certain teams to be able to come straight back up. So there's a lot there to be done at Wolves. I think there's going to be a major revamp during the summer.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if Rob obviously goes to the likes of Middlesbrough and Luton for players and stuff like that. But I think Robbie being mad to go to Wolves. I think there could be a better job out there for him in the Premier League in the future. But he's just picking up more and more managerial credentials at the minute, and I think he's doing a good job, But I think Rob Edwards is going to be mad to take the job.
Yeah, very clever racers, wasn't it? Very clever to move in the hoardings and narrow the gap for the long throws.
Did you see the pictures? Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, Rob Edwards already proved his worth. There we go. Let's move into Sunday then. Starting off, Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0. What an amazing game. I expected goals in this, but not all one-sided.
Yeah, Bournemouth just looked like it's a different Bournemouth than we've seen them all season.
Tired, leggy.
They did look very leggy, but you have to give credit to Villa. What a performance! The free kick to open.
One day.
The keeper just stood there watching it go by, and it was so funny when Onana picked up the ball at the edge of the box. The whole day just shared with Stew, and you just knew one thing was going to happen, and was into that bottom left hand corner. Fantastic finish, and from there, obviously, from Bournemouth's point of view, they were unlucky with the penalty miss. The shot that took a deflection and Martinez got his hand to and hit out for a corner. That was a world class save. He had a fantastic afternoon. Martinez did, in fairness to him, but it was just a perfect day for Villa, and I think it's probably one of the best performances we've seen of Villa this season. I think they've been a bit hit and miss so far this season. This could be the start of a hope. Well, obviously with the international break, but when they come back, it could be the start of something to see the Villa that we did from last season.
Consistency.
Exactly, and getting up there. I know they're 6th or something, but they want to get up and start picking up more points. But yeah, fantastic all round team performance yesterday afternoon from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Brentford 3, Newcastle 1. Dan Burn getting sent off. Brentford come back into it. Harvey Barnes opened up the scoring for Newcastle. Looked like at that stage then they were going to glide along. They were creating and they were moving and all. And then Shada got the equaliser, and then Thiago with a brace of penalty and one in stoppage time, 90+5, 3-1 Brentford. Huge win. Newcastle, a lot of conversations there at the moment about Eddie Howe and stuff like that. Yeah. Newcastle not doing what is expected. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it was funny. Isn't it mad how football works? Like Dan Burn was a hero on Wednesday night, scoring the goal in Europe, and then within a few days he's the villain, and
only as good as the last game, huh?
Exactly. But look, in fairness, I think Brentford have shocked a lot of people this season, including ourselves. I think we said at the start of the season it's going to be very difficult for them with the players they lost, and with Keith coming in and not having the managerial experience.
Did you catch his pre-match interview an hour before kickoff?
I didn't. No, I didn't see
it. It was fantastic. The way he broke things down and simplified the basics of football.
Yeah.
And what he expected from each of his individual players and stuff like that. I'd say his attention to detail is absolutely meticulous.
Yeah.
And I'd say there's not a player at Brentford walks onto a pitch not knowing their role and their job for the day.
Oh, 100%.
I was so impressed. Go back if you get a chance to look at that interview. Yeah. Really, really good.
I've seen him doing team talks and stuff, and the way he builds the lads up is fantastic. And I used to enjoy watching him on Virgin Media himself and Brian Kerr and stuff like that when he was analysing the Irish games, but then he got involved with the coaching and stuff. But he's doing a fantastic job, and I think he's taken you know, a lot, like I said, including ourselves, a lot of people are kind of shocked, in a good way though, that we weren't expecting them to
Well,
be on
remember
the
we
good
said at
form
the
that they
time,
have.
prove us wrong, please prove us
Exactly,
wrong, and he
exactly.
certainly is.
They
So it's
have,
fantastic.
and it's great to see, and it's great to see, an Irish man managing in the Premier League and doing such a fantastic job, and he's still only young as well. So, and he's got a good head of hair as well on him.
He has, he has. He mightn't have it for too long doing being a Premier League manager, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I
Fair
couldn't
play
keep
to
going a
Keith
bit
Norris.
grayer.
He obviously just ignored everything Kenny told him.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Too right, Morris.
Absolutely. Um, I did a Premier League preview video that I uploaded onto the channel there on Saturday morning. And I thought, I turned around and I said on that preview that I thought Palace versus Brighton might be one of the games of the weekend.
What is it? The commentator's curse, isn't that what they say?
Unbelievable. I said there'll definitely be goals in this. I said
Yeah,
this will be quite open. My God. I
yeah,
couldn't believe it. And I was coming home. I was coming home in the car and it was in like the 88th minute or something. I still couldn't believe it was 0-0. I was
yeah.
going, what the hell is going on here? You
Nothing,
know?
and nothing
Couldn't
seems to be
believe it.
happening. Like we see in Palace have been free flowing, as have Brighton. So I know where you're coming from with that one, and I think to sum up the game, the highlight of the game was the penalty, the review being the penalty being overturned for what was a blatant dive. Other than that, there wasn't many opportunities either side.
Mm.
And it is a derby. I can't remember the motorway in between the two clubs that they called that derby. It's not the M62, that's North, but it's something similar to that. But yeah, the bragging rights was shared. But
The Eagles versus the Seagulls.
the Eagles versus the Seagulls.
Yeah.
But now, I think from the overall game, I think Brighton would be happy, obviously, to come away with a point from Selhurst Park, but nothing to write home about there at all.
Palace have kind of wobbled a bit since they gave us a good going over, didn't they? Since then, they've kind of been hot and
Which
cold,
time?
Jack
Which
and Hyde.
time?
Take your pick. The one in the league, obviously, I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah, 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 no, yeah.
No,
I just wanted a bit
no one
of
cares.
bring
No
up
one
the
cares about
Cardiff
that.
as
No one cares about that Carabao Cup. Sure they don't.
a oh, stop man. But
Take your
no, yeah, it's a strange one, because like obviously they've some really really quality players. Obviously Mateta, he's on fire. We know you our love of Wharton in the middle. Obviously
pick.
he's been linked with Jews and stuff like that. But and even from Brighton's point of view, it's like kind of the games. I know that like it's mad how it's been broken up. It seems like nearly every week we're coming on here saying there's an international break. But it
Mm.
just seems like a lot of the games and the intensity that both teams have been playing at over the last few weeks kind of caught up with them on Sunday afternoon. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a bit of a strange one, bit of a strange result. But I think both teams would have taken a point.
Sometimes as well, you can get to that level in the league table and begin to believe like your own crap don't smell.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
way. And
exactly.
then
Yeah,
the league has an awful way of bringing you back down to earth,
slapping you in the face. Yeah,
as I well
100%.
know. As I well
I,
know.
I know that
Um,
then as well.
yeah, Nottingham Forest 3, Leeds 1.
Yeah,
Would we be worried about Daniel Fark?
I spoke to two Leeds fans yesterday in Uncle Tom's, and both of them thought he should be sacked after the game. Obviously, I left soon after or whatever, and I didn't. But yeah, they said they would have been shocked to wake up this morning and he still be in charge. Um,
Is it fair though? I mean,
I don't, I
they
don't,
haven't given a man like.
I don't think it is fair, to be honest, because they don't. He wanted a natural goal scorer. They gave him Carvet Loon, who's just as injury prone as Bamford had been the previous few seasons and stuff like that.
He's another one like Richarlison, absolute
Yeah,
fake footballer,
yeah.
fraud, just
Um,
fraud.
and in fairness, like they've good individual players. It's just like I said, it's getting to play as a unit, as a team. And yesterday's performance, I think, yes, they took the lead. They create a few chances after that, but Forest for me, um.
Well, that was the debate in the summer when they got promoted, wasn't it? That
Yeah,
was the debate. Could he do
yeah,
what needed to be
exactly.
done? You know.
But like, I think Forest were like, listen, it was we talk about Sean Dyche, about his defensively how he organises a team and keeps it really tight. But I thought they were excellent going forward. Chris Woods obviously back on the score sheet and stuff like that, and I think your man on the right, Hutchinson, had an excellent game. He hasn't. He hasn't seen much minutes this season, but I think obviously he won the penalty coming in on the right, and Leeds defender clipped his legs. I thought he was excellent. Anytime he got the ball, you felt something was just going to happen. He was going to create something very, very much like Garnacho on Saturday evening. You just felt like he was going to get an assist and do something. But great performance for Forest. One thing I'd like to add off the pitch is it was great seeing that Forest fan who saved a couple of people's lives, obviously with his actions intervene in the train there the previous week. He got a brilliant reception. I don't know if you've seen the video of when he came out the stand. He got a brilliant reception from the fans, and
Rightly so.
Yeah, 100%. So for me, that was, never mind what happened on the pitch yesterday. For me, that was a massive highlight yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, and it was another big 3 points for Nottingham Forest at home. Leeds obviously, slipping down into that relegation fight there and stuff. And it's very clustered down there up as far as Newcastle. Obviously a bit of gap there now with Everton picking up the win, but certainly up as far as Newcastle, it's going to be a bit of a battle. I am surprised to see Fulham down there, that's for sure. I think Fulham have enough quality to be doing much better than what they're doing.
They do, but I think their quality is in that starting 11. I don't think the quality goes to
they
the
don't have
depth
the
of
squad.
the squad. Yeah.
No, and that's a fair comment. But I mean that when you're in that bottom 6 teams or whatever it is, that's generally the case anyway. Unless you're just having an absolute mare.
And I do think with West Ham with Nuno there and they get a bit of a run together, I can see them definitely leapfrogging a few of the teams, the likes of Burnley and Leeds ahead of them.
If you have to pick the 3 that go down at this stage, who are you picking?
For me, it'd be Wolves. I think Burnley and Leeds. I think Forest will be all right with Dyche there, and I think West Ham with Nuno, I think will do enough. I think they have enough quality there.
Isn't it mad when you look at the 3 teams that came up, and you look at the team that spent money and speculated to stay in, is up in 4th.
Yeah.
In a Champions League spot. I know 11 games in a Champions League spot. And the teams that are struggling are the teams that didn't go and spend. Now, Paul was telling me, I was on to Paul yesterday about it when we were watching the game. Paul was telling me that Leeds have problems as well with FFP and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they're still carrying legacy debt or something from the spend they did originally in the Premier League or something like that, he was saying. So, but then I was saying it normally runs every 3 years, doesn't it? And then a year knocks off. It's a 3-year rolling average. So I don't know, we'll see, but they'll certainly have to go into the market in January if they want to survive in the Premier League because they have nothing going on up front.
100%.
Acers. Liverpool supporters are still confident that they can still be in the title race. Well, they should go watch my match reaction this morning. Don't know if you liked it. Did you see my thumbnail?
Yeah, Boys to Men, wasn't it?
Boys to Men.
Yeah,
Boys to Men. I made a little video on the shop this morning as well of me singing End of the Road. There you go. I'll send it on to you later.
Do.
But it was fun. So let's move on.
We have to get that to Christmas #1, folks. Everyone in the chat, get on Spotify. We get this to Christmas #1.
Yeah. You do need to invest wisely, Morris. And it's so difficult as well. Because Sunderland could have went out and bought those players and it could have been a disaster. You know what I mean? You're really running a roulette wheel there, but obviously they hit the spots and they're doing a good job.
I'd say Daniel Fark wishes he could scan a QR code and get a few free players with quality there,
Or an L weekend away in Hungary or a week or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's kind of I really think, look, I'm not a huge Daniel Fark fan when you look at the Norwich situation and stuff like that, but to get the team promoted and to just give them literally nothing, you know what I mean? It's just it's shocking, And I wonder were they able to spend, but they just didn't want to give it to him until maybe January to see how things pan out.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could go over this international break now.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
I wonder would they go looking then at Robbie Keane if he's interested in the Wolves?
They could do, in fairness, I know I said about the Wolves, but obviously it's different with Leeds because he has that connection to the club and to the fan base and stuff,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but it'd be interesting, all right. Man City 3, Liverpool 0. This really was boys to men, wasn't it? This was just horrific. This was and I was just so confused. Check out my reaction there, folks, as well. It was quite depressing to say the least. I was just, the one thing I did say, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Obviously, we were heading into this week under a lot of pressure. 3 games, talk of Arne Slot's job on the line, all this kind of stuff and all. And we went and we bet Villa comprehensively. We went and we bet Real Madrid, played them off the park. And I just wonder, yesterday we looked really leggy and we ran out of gas. Now, I know people were talking about we didn't quite play and set up the way we did against Real Madrid, where we let them have the ball. We kept it nice and compact, and then we kind of hit them on the break and stuff like that. No, I think yesterday we opened up just a little bit too much, and I think Man City broke the lines and were able to get into that area, that space that sometimes opens up for us between our defense and our midfield. And when the likes of Cherky goes in there, or Foden goes in there, or Bernardo Silva, whoever it is, they know how to move that around. I have to say, Nico Riley yesterday just pocketed Salah yesterday. It was phenomenal.
Oh, it's immense.
Unbelievable to see, like, I mean, obviously, even as a Liverpool fan, sometimes you have to put up your hand and go, well, yeah, and I thought there was issues there. I listened to Slot after the game, and he said, we looked at the first half and they basically played us off the park kind of thing, and I was there going, yeah, but you sent the exact same fucking team out then at half time.
Yeah.
Second half, like, you know what I mean? Like, what's that about? Like, if you're sitting there and players are getting fucking roasted, like, you got to do something. You got to change. Like, and we were on this podcast all last year praising him about his in-game management and tweaks and changes he'd make and little formation changes to get back games and win games and all that kind of stuff. And I was just thinking yesterday, he was absolutely void of ideas. And I see Kerkez coming on for Robbo. What's that going to do? I see Joe Gomez coming on. What's that going to do? And then, the difficulty of it was then you've got like Curtis Jones and Dom picking up like yellow cards needlessly just out of frustration.
Frustration, exactly.
I was screaming at the TV yesterday. Every time he picked up the ball at the edge of their box, I was saying, fucking shoot, let it fly. It's a greasy, filthy, wet night. Let it fly.
Yeah.
73 minutes before we did that, Dom unleashed that shot that Donnarumma saved. 73 minutes before we had a shot on target. And I'm there going, what is that about?
Wasn't good enough for us. I just felt, looking at it yesterday, he's left a lot out on the pitch on Wednesday night against Madrid. I think Bradley looked a completely different player against Madrid. Doku had him in his pocket all day. Doku probably played one of the best games I've seen him play in a Manchester City shirt. Obviously, he started off all right last season, took a bit of dip, but he's come into a big bit of form at the minute. And I really do believe that what he was
phenomenal. The Doku this season has been phenomenal.
He's been excellent. But I just feel what you did against Madrid caught up with us yesterday against.
I did a preview on Friday. I think it was. I did a preview on Friday, and I said in that preview, and context I said is key here, because remember, if you had turned around to me 8 days ago and said, I'm going to give you 2 wins out of 3, I would have took it.
Yeah.
And where we were and where we had come from and how we were playing and all, I would have gone, yeah, wrap that up and give it to me now. All good. But the problem was we won the first 2 games going into the third game. So then it changes the narrative. But I said in that preview that my biggest concern going in was, one, would Slot tweak it or change it again? And we kind of reverted back that what didn't work for us and what cost us games somewhat. But I also said as well is, have this team got it in the gas tank in 3 intense games where the criticism is so just mental, like, and the pressure and everything else. And the pressure, of course, of performing in the Champions League and trying to move up into that, automatic qualification, And I was saying that amount of pressure, could they reset and go again a third time? And I said that was my biggest concern. Would they gas out? Would they be able to get up for another third game before the international break? And obviously they weren't. And no, not taking that away from Man City. I thought Man City were excellent yesterday as well.
They were.
But I think if you look at the goals really annoyed me. Kanate didn't even jump for that Haaland one, and the way it kind of went in off things, and you know what I mean. And then you look at like the laziness of the Van Dijk block that became a deflection and went in as well. And it's just a manner like if Cherky picked up the ball and buried it 30 yards out, I go, okay. You know what I mean? But it was the manner. We just looked weak as gnat's piss, really. You know what I mean? At times. And a lot of people went missing. And then when we didn't get the goal, I don't know what your thoughts was on the goal that we scored.
I've seen a few different suggestions about whether I should have stood or not. Firstly, Robinson probably should have been a little bit quicker stepping out to beat the offside.
I looked
Uh,
at
uh,
a list of all the things that denied the goal,
yeah,
and we didn't do one of them.
yeah, it's a difficult one because it's down to interpretation of the law. Whether like one person can believe that he like say you were to play a ball through and you were coming from an offside position and you dummy it or open your legs and let it go through and it goes on to another player who had come from an onside position. Some people felt it was almost like that kind of an act, People were thinking Donnarumma. Now, he wasn't in his eye side. He was definitely not in his eye line. He was obviously further over to the left. Donnarumma was standing on the right. I
But then
believe
Robbo in his position then was irrelevant.
well, that's what I'm saying. But other people, it's a 50-50. I believe the goal should have stood. But if you go on to any of the referee forums today, there's all this back and forth about the interpretations of the law. Again, it's not black and white. It's how you interpret the law of the offside
But the law is
be
the
in
law.
play.
You can't interpret it. The detail
No,
there.
but you have to interpret whether you think his movement is interfering with Donnarumma. So does Donnarumma believe that Robinson's going to take a touch like that, or but when he does
It took 13 seconds after the goal was scored for the flag to go up.
to go up,
And
yeah, no,
the VAR review was 28 seconds.
yeah, saying that. So obviously,
Now,
they didn't think there was an obvious error.
and I'd like to throw your mind back to last weekend and the goal your own club scored when the player ran across the keeper.
Listen, we've seen it so many times. Like the majority when they're kind of given, we've seen. Was the City last season as well with Bernardo Silva had a very, very similar one as well.
And he was literally sitting in the keeper's shorts pocket.
100%. I was so surprised when that was not chalked off. So I believe it would have been given, and it does change the game then, particularly with.
Now listen, I'm not coming on that decision saying that maybe we would have went on and won or got a draw. I think City were by far the better team on the day.
It certainly
but if you're going in 2-0 down or you're going in 1-1, that certainly changes the thinking and the mindset of a game.
100%, particularly after City missed the penalty as well. They took the lead down, but when they missed the penalty in the 13th minute, I know you just kind of started off a bit slow and sluggish. Usually that would encourage you, to be like, right, let's get into this and stuff like that. But it wasn't to be. I believe the goal should have stood. But like I said, there's so many back and forth on a lot of the referee forums today. It was interesting reading them. I must go back and try send you on a few screenshots of it and stuff.
Yeah, no, I just for me, I thought it looked like a nail-on goal. I think, and we've seen them given. So that there's no doubt that it's happened before and stuff like that. No, listen, but I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories or PGMOLs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I thought Man City were full value for their win. There's no doubt about it. I thought they tortured us all over the pitch. I just thought we were just poor. It was kind of another spineless. I think when we didn't get the goal, I thought we started feeling sorry for ourselves again, and we went into ourselves, and we just looked. We looked a yard off City all day long. The way they stepped out, the way they took the ball, the way we coughed up possession, the way we just at one stage we were crossing the ball into the box, and this frustrates the hell out of me. When he made that tactical change and he put Salah in the middle.
Yeah.
And you have Dom going down the right-hand side to put the ball into the box. He's putting the ball into the box. There's no one there, and Salah standing on the 18-yard line. And I'm going, is anyone going to fucking take a risk into the 6-yard box here at all and try and do something? Like, it's just absolutely shocking. Kanate again, so poor. But look, there's no point in just mentioning one name because I think 1 to 11 they were poor. I thought Marmadashvili, I thought as well, he was very unlucky for the penalty as well, but then saving it, I thought was really, really good and made up for it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think, by and large, he's done a real good job deputising there for Alisson while he's injured. So there's not a lot of, he's still a little bit nervous and playing the ball with his feet and stuff like that. No, but that's to be expected.
That will come with
time. But I mean, you're filling in for one of the best keepers on the planet in one of the biggest clubs on the planet with a huge expectation this year and stuff like that. So that can just happen and stuff like that. But by and large, he should be making some really, really good saves and stuff like that. And I think that the Doku goal was just sensational.
Great finish.
Yeah, just sensational. But yeah, so we'll
I was
we'll, we'll
saying, sorry, I was
go
just saying Rowan in the chat there. How are you getting on, Row? Just Philip said I sound like I was smothering. I was telling Niall what it was like in the chat. And you know the funny thing about this, because when I was walking into the Stevens Green Centre that day, absolute soaked. This Elwin's coming out. Is it raining outside? I said, no, it's not raining.
I'm just out of the shower.
Yeah, I just swam across the Liffey to get here. Never mind crossing the fucking bridge. Like, God.
Older people are great at the obvious, aren't they?
Oh,
Aren't they great at the
and here's
obvious?
the other thing: piss and rain, and there's still a massive queue outside that Bambino as a Malcolm Pass. What is the story with that place?
No idea. No idea.
I don't get it.
Pep Guardiola, 1,000 games.
Yeah, you know,
And I think this affected the game as well, because I think if you're going out for your 1,000 game, you don't want to lose your 1,000 game or even draw it. And I'm sure he would have been in that change room going, lads, not today.
yeah,
Of all days, not today.
against the
And kind of how fitting it was that the 1,000 game is against Liverpool, because we've been arch enemies now for nearly the guts of a decade at this stage or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, how fitting it's a 1,000.
Yeah, it's great to see. And listen, he's one of those managers that comes around probably once in a lifetime, and we've lucky
40 trophies.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Absolute unbelievable. You know,
I mean, you can talk about 115, you can talk about this, you can talk about staying on, you can talk about when you talk about all that, but you still have to go out there and do it week in,
exactly
week
on
in.
the pitch.
And he's standing there yesterday in a little sports jacket, fucking drenched to the skin.
Yeah.
He didn't even have an anorak or a coat or a hood or an umbrella, nothing. Just standing there drenched, loving every
You ever see
minute
him
of
doing
it.
that little thing like all this all the time? What does he be?
Yeah.
I remember watching did Ric Flair do a Hannibal interview like that? And he has a little bottle that he's spitting into the whole time. This is a good few years ago.
They chew the tobacco, don't
That's
they?
what it is, yeah.
That's the tobacco that they chew. I doubt Pep's doing that now, but that's what it is. But I'd say, look, I'd say if you're a Premier League manager or a manager in any of the top 5 leagues in Europe, I'd say your nerves for that 90 minutes are shot to bits, especially with the expectation, and especially with Arsenal opening up the door. It was imperative yesterday that one of us won the game and stepped through the door to put the pressure on. Because if we both had a draw, and it was like we've let Arsenal off the hook kind of thing, you know what I mean? So it was important that I obviously wanted Liverpool to win, but it was important that someone won, because now the gap is 4 points with Man City and Arsenal. A lot of pressure there, so we'll see how Arsenal's going to react now. I would say that for Liverpool, I think we've a real good run of 11 games now. Well, I say that touch of wood now because, you know what I mean, there's no such thing as easy game. But I think our toughest game in the next 10 games, I think, is Spurs.
Yeah.
If I'm right. But there we go. But listen, every game is tough. There's no easy games in the Prem. But in terms of it not being Aston Villa, Real Madrid, and Man City all in a week, it's a little bit easier.
Exactly,
than that,
too right.
But I have to say, hats off to Pep. 1,000. And it was nice. It was actually nice to see the videos that they sent in. Did you see that of all the different managers and stuff like that? That was
nice touch, in fairness.
Yeah. It's nice when you see them getting a bit emotional as well, isn't it? That they're
human, exactly, 100%.
Yeah. But the lads who didn't let me down at the weekend, of course, who went on and won the double and put Cork and the Rebels back in their place and all that kind of thing. There we go.
Yeah. Listen, fair play.
Gaffney boy name, Gaffney boy nature.
That's exactly it. I text Georgie Kelly. He's the Shamrock Rovers photographer. Good name of ours in Dundrum. I just sent him a text yesterday saying congratulations. So we're always all season going back and forth, Shells Rovers. And in fairness, when they won the league last season, he texted me, so I sent him a message, and he sent me a video back of him and the Rovers team celebrating in the Clayton and Ballsbridge last night. I sent it on to you then just to look great. But yeah, listen, well deserved. Cork on top played well in that first half. The sending off obviously changed things.
The card was pivotal.
I don't know what the lad and everyone was thinking. It was a ridiculous challenge just before half time, and it changes the game tactically and everything else from Cork. And Rovers had been creating a few opportunities before that, but obviously Cork were soaking up the pressure and doing well, and they had a few replies as well. McGinty pulled off a fantastic double save at one stage, and there was a few other saves as well in the first half. So, but listen, you just felt they were putting enough pressure on. You just felt there was a goal or two in Rovers, and that's exactly what happened. And he went. He had no choice to go with the experienced lads. Obviously, Newlands away at the under-17s World Cup. He scored the other day, obviously, but and it worked. And delighted to see them win it from like I said, I've an off with Robbie, me family and friends
Gosh, yeah.
and stuff like that. And just we were talking about Uncle Tom's. There was 2 bus loads that went from Uncle Tom's down to the Aviva. And my dad
Awesome.
seeing them on yesterday morning. So it's great for the area, great for the team, the squad.
And hats off to the Cork fans.
Yeah, oh no,
who haven't had a huge amount to shout about this season.
100%. They
But they showed up in their
They
droves.
did. They done very well. It's funny
Yeah,
enough. We brought Holly into Jervis 10:30 on Sunday morning to get her haircut there, first haircut, and all these Cork lads going around trying to find somewhere to eat for breakfast and stuff like that. There was a lot of them when you're going up and down the quays. There was a lot of them. And
is that the kids' haircut place that they sit them in like the motor cars?
Yeah,
That's still there, is
still
it?
there. I
Remember that we used to bring Lauren and Ben in there as well. Yeah, it's very cool.
I know your woman up there, so she doesn't open till 11 o'clock. So said any chance, so she come in for me at 10:30. So we were there about 20 past 10, and Holly sat in the airplane watching Paw Patrol getting a haircut, so she was delighted. Like, you know,
so good.
it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's so
but
good.
yeah, no, listen, fair play to Rovers. It was great for Bows as well to obviously get the European spot then as well and stuff like that. But from a Cork point of view, obviously you had the lows of being relegated, then to the high of getting to the FAI Cup final. But I thought they gave a good account of themselves considering how poor they have been at times this season. Obviously they upped their game because it's the cup final, but fair play to Rovers. Well deserved double, hasn't happened in a long time either. So
did you feel looking back on it that maybe Rovers in that last 4 or 5 league games that their pathway was to this game? This is where it was at because they had wrapped up the league basically.
Yeah, I think it was. And do you know what? I didn't mention him there, but you know, hats off to Stephen Bradley. He on and off the pitch, he's been an absolute star this season. Other people would have crumbled with the situation that was happening with his family and his young lads. So I have to say, hats off him. He's been a class act. You know, I know we've had a few disagreements with him in the past when I was reffing and stuff, but he's just been class, and you have to hand it to him. You know, it takes some character and strength to go through what he's been through and not to waver. Managing
his reaction at full time was brilliant as well.
Yeah, and
it was brilliant as well. Like, and look, there's no doubt that Rovers are the best team on the island. Like, there's no doubt. Like, it's just
100%.
You know what I mean. But still, you still have to go and you still have to do it.
Exactly.
You know? With everything else, as you said, that was going on, it was absolutely phenomenal. So this is how our European spots blew out. So Rovers in the Champions League, we got Derry in the Europa, and then we've got Shelbourne and Bows in the conference.
Yeah. Just about right, I think people at the start of the season probably would have expected Pats to be in one of those positions. Considering
Pats will be very disappointed.
100%, and obviously I mentioned there a few weeks ago about there's going to be a lot of change at the club, considering Mason's gone to Spurs and to be a few outgoings as well. But he really needs to build a squad now, particularly, you know, not getting into the European places and not getting to, say, an FAI Cup final. There was a lot of expectancy from him and from the fans, for Kenny to do well, considering how well they played at the back end of last season. But they never brought forward that guile, determination and performance from last season into this season. So very, very disappointed from a St. Pat's point of view. But I think overall, if you look at the overall if you know state of play from the league, I think it's a fair result to see the 4 teams that we did there in the European spots.
Yeah, absolutely. And then speaking of disappointments, I was here on Friday.
Oh, of course, yeah, you were texting me.
And we went 1-0 up, and I was jumping around. I said to Ben, it was like the hangover. I said, "We're back, baby. We are back." I said, "Order those season tickets. We're back." You know what I mean? And then just they you know, we started out well, but then they took hold of the game, and their strength and their quality shone through. Like, they were winning everything. They were hungry for everything, and we were really struggling to get in the game. And it was only in that last kind of 20 minutes or so where we really kind of pushed. But even when we were pushing, and the young boy O'Neill came on, who's been a revelation all season for us and all, but just it was like there was nothing left in the
No,
gas tank,
no,
really, and they were very clever in the way they shackled them as well
100%.
and stuff and all, and it was
And it
like
was a poxy night on Friday night, and the pitch
horrible
wasn't
night,
great
yeah,
either. And
horrible night, horrible pitch, horrible ground.
yeah.
Oh,
You up
yeah.
to talking. You
Nobody
up to
messing,
talking.
nobody messing,
Well, no, listen, I
nobody
think
messing. Yeah.
listen, I think a lot of people want to see Braga get back up there, to have them back in the Premier Division, and um,
Mm,
particularly taking the lead as early as you did in the game, and you think, right, here we go,
yeah,
building this, and it just never happened.
mm,
And yeah, Waterford, I
yeah,
think, did show that experience that they have after playing in the Premier Division for the last few seasons
mm.
and stuff, and every
And I was thinking when we scored that overhead in the semis, I was
that's
thinking
it. Yeah,
our luck
yeah,
is in this season, surely. And like that's 2 seasons on the trot now, you
yeah,
know what I mean? You don't want to create a career out of doing this
exactly.
kind of thing, you know. And they listened to Paul Heffernan beforehand and all, and to Devo and all, and just it was disappointing afterwards because it would have given it a great lift. But on the flip side of that, a lot of work would have had to be done to be
100%.
in the Premier League and stuff like that. Like it's a great ground
Yeah,
and everything else, and location and a great following and stuff. But you could see on the pitch there, looking at the difference when Waterford like stepped it up and stuck in, and the physicality just wasn't there really until that last time, and then even kind of with like 15, 20 minutes ago or whatever it was. I thought we were a little bit casual in possession as
yeah, yeah.
well. Like I know you want to stick to your plan and you want to, you don't want to go all guns at that stage and stuff like that. But you got to move the ball faster. You got to show that tenacity and that intent and stuff. And I just thought we kind of lacked that. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
But
that kind of
yeah,
penetration pass that you need to
yeah,
split the water for defense that just
mm,
wasn't there, like,
yeah, yeah. And hats off to Waterford. I mean, they have entertained us this season as
definitely,
well. In fairness,
definitely.
they've had some banger games down there and stuff. And
A lot of
another
changes
team we're
there
going
as
to
well
try
behind the
follow.
scenes as well this season at
Yeah.
times as well, so
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but yeah, there we go. There we go. So we're at it again for another season. So I said the band, look, we'll probably end up getting season tickets anyway. So
you should do.
yeah,
Support your local team, lads,
oh
whoever they
yeah,
may be,
100%. Squad released the other day.
Cool, just before we get into this, I'm gonna have to switch over to my phone. This battery's about to go. I didn't get the charger because of me little nap there, so
Yeah,
give
fire
me
away,
2 seconds. 2
fire away.
seconds, alright?
Already got 2 slides to go
Perfect,
anyway. Yeah.
perfect. I'll be 2 seconds. I'll just go now.
So there we go, folks. Make sure, folks, you're subscribing as well. Hit the like button as well if you can, folks. And don't forget, tomorrow night, Pro Wrestling Weekly, 8 o'clock, Raw. We'll be going through everything. We're going to be talking about the John Cena Farewell Tour. Going to be talking about that 6-day-man tournament that's going on to decide the last opponent. If you've been following the channel as well, folks, you'll see a lot of wrestling content going down there at the moment. All the lads have their own. Uh, Basically, all the lads have their own shows at the moment on the channel as well that are going out on a weekly basis. So you'll have Keith doing his top 5 shows. Sean always going to be reviewing NXT. Bren and Emma are going to be doing SmackDown. We do Raw on the main show.
What's this about
Dave is going to be
wrestling,
doing.
Pro Wrestling Weekly, is it?
Yeah, just all these different shows that are going out. Basically, everyone on the panel has their own show now each week to do
Oh,
as well on top of that. So they're all going out. So there'll be top 5 lists and various different things and all going out. So
deadly.
Sean Mack is going to be doing some ECW lookbacks and stuff like that
No
as
way.
well. And should be interesting for people. So I'm trying to balance the wrestling football kind of thing,
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
class.
good. So there's a lot of stuff going out there at the moment. So yeah, we are back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And then Thursday, obviously back with Aaron Thursday tier talk, and then we'll see where it goes.
I
from
look
there.
forward to
So,
that tomorrow. I did bring Georgia up to bed and to be watching and
yeah.
throwing out comment in or two, yourself. Do you like my new
Yeah,
screen name now? Because just as I hop back on there,
what's it say?
you up the shells.
Up the shells. There you go. I did reach out to the young lad O'Neill off Bray for an interview on the channel. Dino got his details from me. But I haven't heard that back yet. But I know it was a mental week for them this week and stuff like that. So we may hear back. If we hear back, I'd love to do an interview with him over the international break and stuff
just
like that.
with that Bray scenario, just hang on afterwards after we go off air, and I have a little story to tell you about the semi-final and the referee
cool.
and the referee involved in it.
Yeah, cool, absolutely. Looking forward to blood and guts on Wednesday night. looking forward to Blood and Guts on the podcast tomorrow night. And I don't know if you've checked out either, folks, on TikTok as well. Emma is doing these kind of outtake videos on TikTok. So it shows all the different clashes we have on the shows
No
and
way.
stuff like that. Man, it's fun. Yeah, I'll send you on the link to it later. But
I'm not.
she did the first one
Could I
there.
open? I'm not on TikTok or anything, but could I still open the link and stuff?
You probably could, but if not, but you should just sign up to TikTok. It's a bit of fun. Like, it's only a bit of fun.
You know me, social
Anyway,
media.
the Ireland team, back to the football.
Yes.
Ireland.
And talking of blood and guts, we're not talking about Brian Waterford anymore, are we?
No. We're talking about AEW.
Do you know what? I haven't even looked at the squad properly, and from my little phone here, I can't even see it. But I presume it's very similar to last month, is it?
Yeah, there's not a huge difference, really. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be a huge difference, to be honest. But what are you taking on this? This feels like 2 L's, does it?
It does. Listen, ideally 4 points from the 2 games. If not, if you can get 3 points from the 2 games, Portugal are obviously in the driving seat in the group, and it's gonna be a weird one because I know there's a lot of people going there, bringing their kids to see Ronaldo rather than going supporting their own country. You know, so it's gonna be a good atmosphere. It's going to be a different atmosphere, but we need to forget that Ronaldo, Bruno, and all these lads are coming to town. We have to concentrate on picking up. Hopefully, you can get a point against them, and then maybe 3 points against Hungary, and then see what happens in the other 2 games played on the on the Thursday and the Saturday or Sunday night, isn't it? The other game. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We need to start off well. I still look back on those opening 2 games where we should have got 4 points from 2, and we only got 4 points from 6. Sorry, and we only got 1 point from 6. Bitterly disappointing. I think if we don't qualify, the opening 2 games are the reason why we didn't qualify and we didn't build on. You know, we didn't give ourselves enough confidence to build on the next few games. So yeah, very disappointing that was.
Yeah, it's mad when you look down through the list as well. Like, we've a good blend of players in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There is like you look at the like of Fetzy and stuff like that for his pace. You know, against against some of these like Dallo, you have to expose Dallo. We've seen him being exposed so much for United at club level. You have to expose him, but it'd be interesting to see how Nathan Collins and possibly Jacob Bryan and stuff go up against Ronaldo and Cole and Bruno in the middle and stuff. We haven't looked great in midfield at times in the campaign. I think if we are going to score against Portugal, it's going to be from a set piece. I think we can get a goal from a set piece with our height and stuff like that, and like I said, hopefully build from there. But I think
if you could just press them, like, you know, they don't like that. They don't like being.
They don't.
Bullied a little bit.
Yeah, they don't. But we're not that great at pressing teams either. You look at Armenia away, we couldn't press them. You know, we couldn't even get near them at times, and it's fair. We do it the hard way. We give ourselves too much to do at times. So I'm hoping, listen, we can go out, keep them at bay. If you can keep them without scoring at the half time, give yourself an opportunity to go into the second half and nick a goal from a set piece. I'm not saying we're going to win, but hopefully we could get a draw if possible, you know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, so, but yeah, absolutely. Right. And we rounded out, of course, with Dundalk and the news that broke this morning. I think.
Yeah.
Chris Clinton has confirmed, following discussions with former director John Temple, that he has acquired the 65% shareholding Mr. Temple previously held. As a result, Mr. Clinton will step in as club chairperson with immediate effect and will appoint a new Dundalk FC management board in the coming days. I think this needed to be brought to a closure one way or another, didn't it? I think it was getting a little bit intense, and it wasn't shedding things in a good light either. In terms of, you know, when you look at the club, like, I mean, we've had some great things to say about Dundalk this year and how well they did, and, you know, the struggles that they had to face, but yet still came above that adversity, got promoted back into the Premier Division. Obviously, there's issues there that have to be addressed: the pitch, the floodlights, all the usual stuff that we heard about. And stuff like that now. What's your general thinking on this? Chris Clinton now stepping in, and
obviously, as you know, I sent you a voice note. I was with John Temple on Friday evening. Had a chat with him and stuff, and he was telling me what was going to happen. Um, and that got to a stage where, and in fairness, if you go on to Dundalk socials, or you go into any of the, you type in John Temple or Dundalk, and you see some of
Mm.
the headlines from today, all the fans are thanking him because he saved the club last
Yeah.
season. You know, they're thanking him. They've
Mm.
the majority of the fans don't have a bad word to say about him, and they're thanking him because it was kind of similar to FSG when you were standing on the steps of the court that time,
Steps of the court,
because
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
and you were saved, you know. So John did that. He done a lot of things for the town and for the club this season, and you know, speaking to him, you know, the players have the utmost respect for him. Um, him and Kilduff, obviously the relationship was a bit strained in the last 2 months, with different stuff happening and all, and I won't get too much into it, but he was talking about different managers and stuff like that within the league and above in the Prem and stuff, and yeah, it's a new start. Listen, I don't like Stevie Wonder could see that Dundalk needs a new pitch and floodlights. I think if I remember going down years ago down there
Mm.
to Oriel Park, and it hasn't changed since. You know, it hasn't. Like John's done a job on the inside of the stands with the rooms, like we were saying, for the autism friendly
It's
kids.
aged out. It's aged out.
It
It's
has, it
aged out.
has. So, like I said, and in fairness, like John told me, they've been in discussion with the FAI all season about the pitch and the floodlights, getting them sorted,
Mm.
having the funds, and they were there. So he was telling me there was no discussion of not having that done. That was always going to happen because he was in discussion with the FEI all season, saying, "Listen, it's going to happen. We're going to do it." Blah de blah. Can't do it during the season unless they want to move the club down to one of the local clubs that have their matches playing there. They couldn't do that for insurance
Mm.
reasons, you know, for policing and stuff like that. It couldn't be done. So everyone knew that
And then
anyway.
the funding was marginally short by what, 50 grand or something
It
over
was.
500
It
grand or
was,
something.
yeah,
So
it was,
I
and
mean, you'd raise that, like
100%,
you'd raise.
100%, and yeah. So we knew that was going to happen, but yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see what happens now. Um, you know, they have to bring experience into the squad. They have a young squad that got them there to the Premier Division, and were excellent. The likes of Vinnie Leonard and all. I think Vinnie Leonard is going to be in England next year. He's 17, so when he turns 18, I think he's going to go to England. He's been John's had a
Mm.
lot of messages from clubs and chairmen in England asking about him. Vinny is going to be in England next season, so they're going to lose a few players, but they have to bring players in. They have to bring experience in. I know we said about Cork last season, and they did the likes of Shani McGuire and all didn't kind of work out for them, but they're going to find it. They're going to find it tough. It's a big step up, as you well know, cause from that first
Mm.
division to the Prem, because like last year, I think for them, you look at yourselves, Brave Wanderers and Cove, they were the only real two teams that were going to challenge Dundalk last season, really,
Yeah.
and
And
realistically,
and face the same issues. If you look at Bray,
yeah,
the amount of youth in there as well. So
exactly,
even if Bray had got promoted, they would be facing the same challenges as Dundalk in assembling the squad fit for
exactly.
the Premier Division.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're going to find it difficult, but hopefully the new owner Clinton can come in and invest and wisely, you know, invest in the squad wisely. Kieran, fantastic manager, fantastic coach. Let's see how he does in the Premier League. I wish them nothing but the best. They're a fantastic club, brilliant town down there. I've experienced the locals down there and stuff, and they really are fantastic. So I wish them the best of luck now next season.
Yeah, absolutely. And the history of Oriel Park and stuff like that. I mean, it would have been a travesty for that club to disappear off the football scene
100%.
here in England, and it would have been a sad indictment to the FAI and the league and everything else if it had happened. So, really important. We've seen the scenes there when they got promoted. We've seen all the nights that have been down there and stuff like that. The following is phenomenal. It's
It was
ingrained in
brilliant.
the community and
And
stuff.
in
So,
fairness, John looked after the squad. A few nights of the celebrations, giving them money for nights out and stuff like that. He's let me
yeah,
listen to voice notes from one or two of the lads, and but looking for
yeah.
money and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it
Yeah.
is. It's a great spot.
And they're the things that get missed.
Yeah.
In the heat of battle and in the heat of arguments and all that stuff that goes on and all the palaver that goes on social media, they're the things that get missed,
Oh yeah,
you know.
100%.
And it's important to say those things as well, you know. So yeah, that's it. Another show in the bag. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do next Monday. Not too sure
Oh
what
yeah,
we will be
yeah.
doing. No doubt we'll be talking about international football anyway. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
seems,
but that'll take
yeah,
all of 6 minutes or something like that.
yeah. See what you want to do. Maybe we'll line up an interview. Maybe we'll do something or
Leave it
get
with me,
someone on.
cuz leave it with me. We can will we
Yeah.
do a watch along in the new Saipan film or something like that?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Good Lord. Well, listen, the last time we spoke about Saipan, it did okay.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, yeah, it's still up there, isn't
And
it?
we were quite objective. Yeah, it's one of the highest viewed videos on the channel, believe it or not.
Class. You might have to put that
Only
out there
only
again with the film being released.
only just behind our friend Very Good, Very Nice.
No way.
He is the most viewed video every single week. I
Serious?
think it's up now. It's up at about 10,000 views at the moment.
No way.
There you go. So there you go. There you go.
That's
But there
mad.
you go. Yeah, but folks, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button. I will catch you tomorrow night with the panel, 8 o'clock, Pro Wrestling Weekly.
I'll be tuning
And
in.
don't forget, folks, tune in. Give all those shows the guys lots of support and stuff. It's most of them, it's their first time doing solo shows and stuff like that. And
Is that
I
starting this week,
remember
cuz?
they're all up there. They've started going up
Oh,
already,
did they?
releasing as of today and yesterday.
Oh,
Now
I
you'll
must
see
have a
them up
look.
there on the
Yeah, yeah,
channel.
class.
They're checking out, yeah. I did one yesterday on the screw job because it was the 9th.
Was it?
And we'll be talking about the screw job
Was
tomorrow.
it?
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday was the anniversary. Yeah, so
Remember
there you go.
Briscoe saying to Hebner, "Is Bret Hart going to pay your mortgage?"
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much did in the end.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Damn right. What did he say? Damn right, I did it.
Yeah,
And I'd do it again.
yeah.
There you go. That's what's on the shirt. There you
Did
go. But yeah, absolutely.
Mick Foley went AWOL, didn't he? Then was that after the script? Oh no, was it Taker was sitting backstage, wasn't he? On the Monday Night Raw.
It was Earl. It was Earl ran out and jumped into the
Oh,
car and headed
100%,
off.
yeah. Was it Jim Cornette was driving the car, I think, wasn't he?
I've no idea. I'd say a lot of people got out of town real quick after that.
Yeah, what was it? Wrestling with Shadows, wasn't that the documentary that was on?
Yeah, I spoke about it. We'll chat about it tomorrow night because one of the topics tomorrow night is the Montreal screw job then versus now. How do we feel about it and stuff like that? So we'll get into it tomorrow
And you know
night.
what?
So make sure you're on tomorrow.
He blames Goldberg now.
Yeah, for the Montreal screw job.
Yeah, exactly.
It was you, Goldberg.
Yeah, it was you all along.
I did make the point on the video I did, and you can watch it, that when it happened, it did change the trajectory of a lot of wrestlers' lives.
Yeah.
At that point and stuff like that. So have a look at that and see what you think. You know, like we'll see.
I'll
you know, I
check it
spoke
out.
about Owen on it. I spoke about Brett and everything else and all. So yeah, it's